Asshole should have known better. If you're gonna steal, you better make sure you get away with it. Right? I would have done.
They're all dead! They're all fucking dead!
The hell's he yapping about? Take a breath. Who's dead?
The whole crew. The 76 lookout guy. Some fucking tourist killed him. Kill all of them!
Shit. Have you talked to the boss?
Yeah. He wants everyone to hold their ground. Watch the gate.
All right, you heard him. Search the area. Do not let anybody through.
Hey everyone, I wanted to leave that section in so you could hear the scenario that's going on here. This is Pittsburgh, and this is a financial district. You get a checkpoint, I believe, after you slay 2 enemies over here. This is going to be another long chapter. It's going to go up to the section where we're actually escaping the city when we've met the other guys who are going to join our party presently. So grab the heel right there, and I like to throw a bottle right outside the building, so forcing this black guy to jump out, and after he investigates the sound, I sneak up on him. It's kind of murky in that area, so just take this guy out, and you get a checkpoint for some reason. It's really weird. So see this little edit right here? That's the edit, because I died several times trying to figure this section out, and so they give you that checkpoint, and then they give you another checkpoint after you kill like 4 more guys or something like that. It's not really consistent, but you see the guy up there walking on the balcony up there? He's going to be someone you have to really watch out for. He's not a sniper, he's just a guy up there, so you have to wait till his back's turned for when you do. I mean, everything you do down here in this courtyard, you have to consider where he is and if his back is turned or not. So right here, I'm waiting for the guy I know is going to show his ugly face pretty soon. I'm going to try to shoot him with an arrow here. But in the opening of this video, you saw 4 guys convening. You saw 3 guys, and then that one guy running up to tell the guys the news about the tourists killing those guys. Obviously, we're the tourists, but that's misleading. There's not only 4 enemies. There's probably at least 3 times that amount, at least a dozen enemies. So that we have a black guy walking up the stairs over there. And I did this on another take that I didn't have the record button on, and I did this almost flawlessly. But it's not that difficult. So what you want to do is come up the stairs now and see where this guy... Okay, it's a Molotov cocktail guy, so he should be dropping a Molotov cocktail, if I believe. Sometimes he doesn't drop that, though. Sometimes he'll drop alcohol. So in that instance, he dropped a compress. So those are 2... Anything relating to making the Molotov cocktails, he'll drop, if he doesn't drop a whole Molotov cocktail, which is actually much desirable. So I'm going up here now and hugging this wall here. I'm going to jump in, and hopefully I can make the jump so when he doesn't see me, he might be able to peer through the broken window and see you. I guess not, though. So I'm going to jump out, choke him out, and you get a checkpoint somewhere over here. When I did this on hard mode, I stood up here and held my ground and shot it around into the air and forced all the guys to come up here, but it didn't really work too well. Plus, it was wasting a lot of bullets. I also should mention that Ellie is up in the building that we emerged from in the last video, and she has the hunting rifle, so she's sniping enemies, but she's only going to fire her gun if you get in trouble. But if you're getting in trouble on this game on survivor mode, you're pretty much dead, so she's not really a factor. And that guy that I just shot at right there, he's a pretty easy mark. I mean, you could just go down, you could jump off that truck below and get him pretty easily without having to alert everybody here. But so you see, you can stay over here for cover, and then there's also cover on the truck. There's like a billboard in front of the truck, but the enemies, they will come up to you from up here. So I got another really bizarre, see that little checkpoint? I got to this position and then I died, and then they put me here, but then I didn't remember how many enemies I had killed. So what happens is I'm finding, because I'm editing all these clips and things like that, they save a state that you're in the environment, and then that's just the checkpoint. It either occurs after or before or after you've killed enemies. Sometimes it's actually desirable to have the game checkpoint before you've engaged the enemies, because sometimes they will give you, like, say you do a battle, but then you get hit a lot of times, and then you get a checkpoint after the battle with all your little, scrap of health. So, and this is better the other way, so you could keep restarting from the checkpoint and doing better. So I think we have a couple of guys. We're gonna have this guy walking up, and this is probably one of the most inconsistent areas and the most difficult thing for me to make a guide for over here. But I suspect there's going to be a lot of those in this game. So what happened actually is I lost some footage when I got a little bit further into this chapter, and I wasn't so far into the chapter that starting over was not a valid option, because it was, and I didn't waste any bullets on any. I didn't even fire a single shot on any of these enemies. There's a bunch more ways to handle this more stealthy. So you see this? Another weird checkpoint. I died over there, and then they restarted me with this amount of health, and there's more enemies down here. So I almost wish I could just do this section over again. So I got a headshot there, but I would not waste so many bullets if I were you on this section. There's so many great places to hide over here that it's just not funny. So I'm really enjoying this guide. I like this chapter, Pittsburgh. I think it's kind of hard though, but I don't know. There's so many unique sections coming up, you guys, and I'm really looking forward to showing you all those and sharing my experiences. So I think there's more enemies. If not, oh yeah, I think I remember one guy remaining somewhere. There he is, another Molotov cocktail guy. I still think there's even more guys. So I did discover that when they're doing that slow motion hit, it is your cue to shove them backwards. So I might not have known it then, or if I did know it, it requires timing that I haven't found out how to do better yet. So one guy is left over here, but definitely I was pressing the sprint button as it does advise you to do, but I was confusing that piece of it, that little bit of instruction for when you're actually swamped by enemies and you just need to pull out of a group of enemies that's tearing you up. So here's a situation where I didn't know where the guy was, but there he was finally over here. So this being my second campaign, I'm struggling a lot less with this game and just learning the subtleties of it and just really having fun because it's a great game. So, oh, you see this hit right there? This was an input fail. See, he would not even, I don't know what he was doing. I was pressing square the whole time. But that was completely the game's fault. So once you kill the last guy, you're going to get a little scene where Ellie comes down. So I sped this footage up because all it is me going around and picking up everything. So there's not too much stuff, but I don't want to miss anything, you know. And when there's so few items, it's hard to even get those because they're, you know, you think there's just nothing, and then you'd be surprised sometimes there actually is something. Okay, the next thing we're going to be doing is we're gonna actually finally see the truck that's going to haunt us all the way from this chapter all the way to the suburbs. It's like the truck of death, the tank of death, I should say. So we're going to be seeing that presently, and I also don't forget those 25 scrap metal pieces. There's nothing else around here. I also there's a scene where it's not a cut scene, but it's up ahead, and I don't have it in here. It's when the tank is shooting up all the two civilians that the hunters mistake as us, and then they lower their guard, but then they realize that wasn't us. So it might have been for the better anyway, just because YouTube might have found it and gave me a content ID match or something like that. But
hold on. There.
There is an upgrade bench coming too. If you want to start upgrading things, I've been finding out that it's just not that crucial to upgrade a lot of stuff. I made the mistake in my hard mode run of just buying everything so fast, but I'm definitely going to be a lot more conservative since the supplies are scarce on this mode, scarcer than they ever have been. So because we get a lot of different guns coming up. We get the El Diablo, which is a really good gun. It's just kind of up to you. I mean, if you want, well, it's up to you and it's not up to you, because if this were on normal, you could probably upgrade a lot of stuff, but I'm mainly prioritizing the two shotguns, the rifles and the bow and arrow. So I just feel that the shotgun is just so powerful, especially on the clickers. And things like fire rate and recoil, those are just kind of decisions you'll have to make on your own. It's just, just depending on how you like to do things and how important certain aspects are to you. So I just left this in, just in case you want to follow in my footsteps. I am going to leave this whole business done. I'm going to just leave with 136 scrap metal pieces coming up. This next battle. There's only 2 guys up here, but it's kind of tough since they're not really visible at first. So what I actually did was I opened the door, threw a bottle, and then had the one guy come, and then he went into this stairwell here. See, I went in here. I thought they were right out in the open here, but they're down the hall to the left. And I waited behind this thing for a while, and then they weren't coming, so I just decided to throw a brick and then fall back. I kind of improvised right there, going behind this door. So Ellie, I don't know where Ellie is. She's in the stairs somewhere. There she is. And I was kind of just praying that this guy wouldn't come over here. I was hoping he would go in the stairwell. And then I successfully choked. No, did I? I think I may have got interrupted over here. Yeah, this guy here. Ellie, I wish Ellie would have jumped on him or something, because this really screwed me up. So I'm going to take that crowbar. And there may be something in the office, but I'm not sure. Oh, he's still alive. There we go. There is an office to the right, which you might want to investigate. I don't think there's anything, honestly. Maybe a Firefly's note or some kind of note. But no, there's nothing in here. Okay, this section up here. This is where the event starts, right up here. Watch out for the trap by the door. immediately to your left, that's where you need to go. See the trap? You just don't want to go over there. You could sprint freely here. The thing is, we've got several Molotov cocktail guys in the adjacent buildings to the right. But how I want to play this is I want to take care of all these guys first. And you could interact with all these guys and kill them without any of the other guys from that other building getting you. Especially the red jacket Molotov cocktail guys. So I got a nice kill right there. And then I was able to get, I think I shot 2 arrows and I got both my arrows back. So I was really having a lucky day. So you see all this sway that it does right there? You can minimize that, I think, but possibly not for the bow. So I'm going to grab my arrow out of that course. But the thing is, if you kill all these enemies, you see the fire ladder over there? Well, you might not be able to see it. I thought you could just kill this set of enemies and go up the fire ladder, but when I tried to interact with the ladder, the triangle button wouldn't come up, and then I knew that you have to take care of all the enemies over here. You can't skip enemies, which is fine because you'll get a checkpoint right after this, and then you could just focus on dealing with the Molotov cocktail guys. I wish there was some easier way to say that and quicker. Fortunately, I got that hit in. There's a baseball bat. A lot of enemies over here. So this should be the last guy. If I know myself, I charged him. Just because I'm so impatient. Especially when there's one guy left. I just like to charge him. Oh no, he walked over there, didn't he? I was trying to jump through those gaps, but they look like they're too narrow. I think I do end up charging this guy. He was looking at the wall, then he turned around. Oh no, I smacked. That was a cool attack right there. So now you do get a checkpoint. So at this point, I thought that I could just go up the fire escape ladder, but as you'll see in a minute, the prompt just doesn't come up. Meaning, the game's just saying to you that you can't skip this. You can't skip any enemies who are left. So some scrap metal over here. Grab that. Looks like there's 5 pieces on the ground, and that's where you need to go. But the triangle wasn't coming up, so that just tells me I need to go back over here and kill these guys. You'll get a checkpoint though. Like if you die, you'll get one like right over here somewhere. I can't guarantee where the checkpoint's going to be because I think it just saves like a random position on the map, and then it just check marks that, or checkpoints that rather. So we're going to go up the stairs, and then what happened here was the guy immediately rushed me down here. And I thought that he threw it, and I backed off. And then I saw those flames that were in the barrel, and I thought there was some kind of glitch or something where the flames carried over, but they didn't. So you can actually go. You don't have to go in this direct a fashion up here. But I knew I had I had the baseball bat, so just get into cover because there's going to be a couple more guys coming. And the way they could come is up the ladder to the left, or excuse me, not the ladder, but the stairs. So I'm just staying here, trying to just look left and right, see where they're coming. They're most likely going to come to the left. I figured, yep, there he is. And he gave me alcohol, and I think I have 3 Molotov cocktails. So what Joel just said right there is telling us that we could proceed through the next section, and we're going to be fleeing from that damn truck, which isn't too bad by itself, but we have some lackeys to deal with as we go into the buildings, similar to how in the suburbs where we have the same kind of situation occurring. So now I'm headed back to the fire escape ladder, but first I'm going to grab this heal pack right here. And don't confuse those for the med packs. Oh yeah, kind of a funny thing happened. I did all of that right, and then I ran into one of these tripwires down here and blew myself up just because I was running around too fast. and then they reloaded me where I said they would by the fire escape, and then I just did the section over again. And then when I went back over there, the enemies were dead, but my health was as it was at the checkpoint. So this really doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Get me up there.
It's fine when you're playing the game, but when you're trying to make a guide, it just makes it a lot harder. And I'm sure people who make guides for this game will understand what I'm talking about instantly. Or anybody who's made a guide for the Uncharted games, it works the same way. So I don't think there's any items down here. There's the bridge. We're getting closer. And we're going to get it. The next event is going to occur up here. Oh, my bad. There is something. A compress or... Yeah, a compress. If you stay there long enough, Ellie will talk about that movie right there. There is achievements for listening to all of Ellie's jokes, but as Joel would say, I could give two shits about her jokes. So the checkpoint area is right here, and feel free to just sprint into the building.
It's alright, just keep your head down.
And you don't even have to go this way either. Just be aware that if you're not in cover over here, just treat that turret gun as an enemy, but an enemy that's like 10 times as deadly. So you see how the gun was aiming at me right there? That was a really close call. I'm sure the music changed when that happened to that, that close call music that I've been calling it. So, if only that guy over there had been examining the soda machine a little bit longer, I probably... Oh, okay, I still got him. So, okay, so it's only those two guys. And what shot me right there was the turret gun, I believe.
Some kind of military turret.
Now, how these turret guns work is... They're going to just shoot a spray of bullets in a stream, then they'll stop. And then when they stop, that's your cue to run forward or run to the left, as the case is here. So just wait until they fire all their bullets. See, I'm gonna example it right here. And I imagine that if they... you just get torn up completely. So it will stop, then just run. Sometimes that is a little unfair. See, I almost got hit right there. And then this fucking lackey over here really messed me up. Wasn't aware. I mean, I was aware that there were lackeys in here, but just the unrhythmic way you do combat in this game screwed me over. And then I got tagged by that. I should not have gone to this office area. I'm gonna jump out, and then I'm gonna get another really bad, just weird checkpoint over here. After getting torn up by more bullets over here. So up ahead is the really awkward checkpoint. You'll notice a little edit there. I'm going to throw a brick at this guy. We have this one guy here, and then on his heels will be a black guy. So what I like to do is fall back and grab the brick or the bottle, whatever it is over here, and kind of get behind cover and wait for him to charge me. Throw the brick, stun him, and then take him out with what's left of my crowbar here. So this next sequence up here, I was crouch hiding behind the tank that's coming up, and then sprinting when there was a lull in the gunfire. But this works more often than not. Just sprint. Don't even worry about it. I took a wrong turn. Oh, this was the right direction. I didn't know there was a door branching off this alley right here. So that's probably the last we'll need to dodge the fire of the tank. But we are going to, I think we see it again up ahead. And we're going to be, like I believe I mentioned earlier, having a couple of guys join our campaign. So I was a little tentative over here because I didn't know if there was any enemies coming. And there weren't. I think there might be something in here, I'm not sure. It always helps to cover your bases, you know what I'm saying? There's a drawer. Did I miss that? Yeah, I missed that drawer right there. But you guys could probably guess that it could probably contain nothing. We are going to also be getting a new training manual too, which will increase the radius of our Molotov cocktails. That's going to be so good, you guys, because currently, you know, the radius is just not that big, and it's just going to enable a lot more bloaters and runners and everybody to get burned up in the fire. So there's some scrap metal pieces right there, and some pills in the shower, or the sink rather, in the bathroom. Then we're going to go out on the ledge again, then another close call over here. So just sidle along the ledge here.
Oh shit.
We're okay.
And then we're going to jump in this window, then that's where you get the cutscene, and we meet the new arrivals. I don't even know what their names are. It's been a while. They might say it in the subtitles here. All there is in this room is the scrap metal pieces. Make sure you have a shiv room door. There's the Molotovs upgraded. Explosion radius is now 1.5 times wider, so that's really awesome. There's some sugar right there to pick up. And this is the coolest shiv room coming up, because you're actually invading an apartment up here. So I thought that was really cool. So I'm going to craft this item, and you could carry a lot of items in the inventory. But I just don't use the smoke bombs too much. We'll have to see how those play out, but
You gotta be careful. But right now,
I honestly don't know these guys' names. It might be Tommy or something, but it's just the same kind of situation. I think it's his brother. He's trying to protect here in this world full of hell. You know, hunters trying to kill people. So here's the shiv room door up here. So make sure you have one of those. Looks like I have 2 on hand. See, it's always handy to have these. And I just think this is the coolest shiv room. It's just a house, you know, it's just another room, but you don't come across these too often. I mean, usually it's just like a little closet area, but I think Ellie comes on in here, and I always get kind of pissed at her when she comes in here, because it's like, get the fuck out of here. This is my shiv room. You know, I know she's not going to steal anything, but she's kind of stealing my thunder if she even comes here anyway. I know when I was playing on hard mode, she came in here and I got pissed off. But not too many items to speak of. I mean, there's some good loot right there, but you know, this is survivor mode, so we just don't get too much items, and that's all well and good. So let's see, is there anything in the kitchen? Some more pills. Those are good. I'll be making some more upgrades. I was trying to see what the date was here. Sometimes when I see the clocks on the wall too, sometimes I also try to see if all the clocks say the same time. You know, but that really wouldn't correspond to the disaster that happened, because, well, it could, I guess. I was just kind of curious if all the clocks were stopped at the same time. You know, if there was some kind of an explosion or something, and the power went out worldwide or whatever. But I'm trying to refrain myself from looking at too much stuff. I think we're heading on over into the toy shop, and then the older black guy starts chastising the younger kid for pocketing that toy, and it's kind of lame.
They're gone. Man, that fucking truck. It's been hounding us ever since we got in this damn.
He's trying to teach his younger brother some manner. Oh, Sam's his name. It's like, shut the fuck up. Let the kid have a toy. Who cares, you hard ass?
It wasn't nothing. The rule. What is it?
We only take what we have to. That's right.
And there's no items in this place. Chocolate toys.
How far is this place?
There is a confrontation coming, so get prepared for that. You're going to get a checkpoint when you get into the doorway. So take cover behind this crate right here, and then let the conversation kind of die down. But you could safely go over to the left and get the bottle of alcohol. And now I'm going to go back to the cover very carefully. Oh, I did discover one little thing about how the flashlight works on enemies. It's okay if you have the flashlight on, and if you're going up behind them, they don't seem to take notice of the flashlight. What I did was I had the flashlight off, and as I was creeping up to the enemy, I flicked on the flashlight, and that little clicking sound notified him. So I thought that was kind of interesting to note. So this guy usually will double back right about there, and you could take him out. But unfortunately, the guy in the distance got alerted. But he only got alerted. See, this is another one of those situations where we're ghosts, and then when the animation ends, we're back, we're visible again. We have all those iframes. So just watch out over here. Dodged a couple of good shots over here. See, kind of strafing back and forth. And Ellie jumps on the guy. Man. So I think there's one more guy left. So I'm going to pick up this tool right here and apply it to that guy. And then up ahead, once we get on top of the roof of that shack up ahead, we're going to have 2 enemies to kill. And I honestly haven't shot a gun in this game for a while. And I thought I'd be rusty, but it turned out that I got a pair of headshots.
Up on this truck.
So come on up here, and then one of your companion AI will do the listen move. See that? So it's just these 2 guys. Pretty much this is straight up a gunfight that you can't avoid, in which you have to, I guess you could charge that guy to the left or to the right, whomever you hadn't killed. But those are the final enemies of the game, or not the game, of the level. And this has been a long chapter. And the next chapter is going to be the 13th installment, but it will be the final installment of the Pittsburgh area. And it's going to strictly involve the escape from this city. And the title is actually going to be just exactly those words, escape the city. So it should be a very interesting chapter, and one that I'm very interested in producing and playing, producing, and then editing, and then posting to YouTube. So we get a checkpoint over here, and the only thing in this room is the pills. So grab those pills, and then go to the door and wait for I don't know the guy's name, whatever his name is, Sam's older brother, and we're going to go into the next room and take some rest, take some nourishment, and then escape the city.